A portion of this video is brought to you by ESR, Tech Made Easier. Hey guys, yesterday on this channel we reviewed the all-new 2022 iPad, which features an all-new design, some pretty nifty improvements, and its own exclusive accessory, the Magic Keyboard Folio. Today, we're going to take a look at another iPad, the top-of-the-line 2022 iPad Pro, now powered by Apple's M2 chip. Hi, I'm Michael Josh, your gadget matchmaker, and over the last decade, I've made it my job to show people around the world that tech can be easy, fun, and exciting. On this channel, I give you special access to the products I review, the events I attend, and all the exciting people I get to meet along the way. And most importantly, I help you find the right gadget to match your needs. This is our 2022 iPad Pro unboxing and hands-on. All right, let's get started. What do you get when you buy an iPad Pro in 2022? Well, let's open up this box to find out. What color do you think I got? Pause this video and leave your answers down below and we'll find out together. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. If you guessed silver, then you're right. Also in the box, a welcome packet with a quick start guide, a SIM tray ejector tool, and 2 Apple stickers. New on iPads this year is a woven USB-C cable, similar to what we get on the MacBook Air. Apple officially calls it a USB-C charge cable. And finally, a 20-watt USB-C charger. So this is the new 2022 iPad Pro. Not to downplay any of the efficiencies of the M2 chip, but I'm going to go out and say it. If you already own last year's model, then there's no need to upgrade to this new one. This year's update is more incremental, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. The iPad Pro is already very good as it is. It's got the same price, the same display, which on the 12.9-inch model is Liquid Retina XDR, using mini LED tech for extended dynamic range. The same promised 10 hours of battery life, the same complement of cameras, 12 megapixel wide and 10 megapixel ultra wide, plus flash and LiDAR. And it's got the same design. This is the 2022 iPad Pro, and this, thank you, is the 2021 iPad Pro. Can you pause this video and spot the difference?
No, not again.
By the way, this is the 12.9-inch model, but there's also an 11-inch model, which is roughly the same size as the iPad Air. I have the silver one, but it also comes in space gray. Like most of Apple's high-end devices, there are no fun colors to pick from, but if you are keen to add a splash of color, you could always purchase one of Apple's Smart Folio covers. I have this one in a new shade called Marine Blue. Let's take a peek. Ooh, very nice color. A little bit green, a little bit blue. Nice. Now, while very lovely, it's quite pricey at $99. For a more affordable alternative, you should definitely check out this video's sponsor, ESR. You might recall we featured them when we reviewed the iPad Air earlier this year, and we're a big fan of these cases because they really help level up the iPad experience. The Rebound magnetic case is very similar to Apple's own Smart Folio. It's equally slim and lightweight, but I prefer this one because it comes with a clasp with strong magnets, which not just keeps the case secure, but also my Apple Pencil too. The case has a tri-fold stand, which lets you prop up your iPad for watching movies or playing games, or at an angle like this when you want to use your pen. For even more protection, check out the Rebound Hybrid 360. Hybrid because it gives me everything I love about the Rebound magnetic case and then some. A soft silicone cover, magnetic clasp, and a trifold stand. And on top of that, you also get a clear case, if you will, for your iPad Pro, similar to an iPhone case. With it on, your iPad is protected from bumps and scratches, thanks to shock-absorbing corners and a durable back cover. The cover and the case magnetically attach together like this, and are easily detachable also. So you get the best of both worlds. Lastly, if you don't need that magnetic clasp to secure your Apple Pencil, there's also the Ascend Hybrid case, which also has a plastic clear case and a detachable magnetic screen cover. ESR also makes versions of these cases for the new 10th generation iPad. If you use our code ESR iPad US, you get 10% off your order. Make sure to use that code when you check out. Now it's time to talk about what's new. Let's go back to my spot the difference question. Look very closely and you'll notice on the outside, there's only one change. Now, instead of iPad, it says iPad Pro. While the cameras are the same, the iPad Pro can now record ProRes video. The new 2022 iPad Pro also now supports Wi-Fi 6E. Previous iPads only supported Wi-Fi 6, which is probably the most used standard these days, but do note that for Wi-Fi 6E to work or to get the benefits of it, you also need to have a Wi-Fi 6E router. Perhaps one of the most significant improvements to the new iPad Pro this year is its new processor. The newest version of Apple Silicon, the M2 chip, which is the same chip found on the most recent MacBook Air. That's right, the new iPad Pro is as powerful as a laptop. Compared to last year's model, M2 versus M1 gives you a 15% faster CPU, 35% faster GPU, and 50% more memory bandwidth. I do have a confession. While the iPad Pro is the iPad that I use most regularly, sometimes I feel that I'm unworthy of it, like I'm not pro enough for it. In Apple's announcement video, you'll see it attached to filming rigs and connected to a $2,000 Apple Studio display, all of which gives you a feel of how this device can be used for serious work. To highlight all of this new processing power, Apple says to expect iPad versions of 3D rendering software Octane, video editing and color grading software DaVinci Resolve, and publishing suite Affinity Publisher, all of which are coming in the next few months. And perhaps when that time comes, we can do a full review. All that said, I think it's safe to say that the new iPad Pro, like the last one, can crush through any task thrown at it. If you own an Apple Pencil 2, exclusive to this new iPad is a feature called Apple Pencil Hover. When you hover your pencil over the iPad, different actions can happen. For example, app icons will kind of respond by pulsating when you hover over them. It's pretty nifty, and if I were to put it out there, I hope Apple updates the Apple Pencil one day to give us some haptic feedback that matches these actions. On the Apple Notes app, before you draw a stroke, hovering over a blank page will show you how that stroke or brush might look like. Speaking of, on iPadOS 16, the Notes app comes with 3 new brushes and pens. There's watercolor, monoline, and fountain pen. Let's try it out with the new water brush tool. So say I want to use some yellow paint. This is what it might look like. Let's go ahead and paint something. I love how it mimics watercolor strokes. Now, say I want to paint over it with some blue. Let's see what happens. If I hover over, notice the preview is blue over the white paper, but when I go over the yellow strokes, that color will change, showing us what that blending of colors might look like. While these might look gimmicky to some, this is just the beginning. Apple has opened up its API so other third-party developers can also build in these tools and this functionality into their own apps. I know, it's a different day, but iPadOS 16.1 dropped today, so I figured I'd film this little insert as an additional chapter to this video to talk about some of my new favorite features that come in iPadOS 16.1. The first new feature is called Stage Manager. Multitasking on the iPad gets an upgrade. To activate, all you have to do is swipe down on the control center and tap on this icon over here. Now, what this does is, for example, you have an app open like Keynote. All the other open applications are shown over here on the side of my iPad, and I could drag one of those applications and have it hover as another open window, not necessarily in split view. Just like you can do on iPhones running iOS 16, you can use visual lookup to be able to cut out a subject from a photo. For example, me blowing out a candle. I can drag that and drag it onto a Keynote presentation for a slide that I'm doing for my birthday. The next new feature is something that should have been there from the start. That's right, the iPad now has its own dedicated weather app. Previously, on older iPads, whenever you click the weather widget, you were brought to a Safari page loading weather.com. Now, when you click on it, you're brought to the new weather app on iPadOS. And I don't know about you, but with this larger screen, weather geeks are going to love all this data available all at once. Last year, when we reviewed the iPhone 13 series and iOS 15, we talked about a feature called Live Text, which allowed us to select and interact with text on any photo. Now that feature has come to videos. So, for example, you're watching a GadgetMatch video and want to copy some text. All you have to do is press pause and then select the text that you want to copy. Switch over to, say, your Notes app, and from there, you can press and paste. Currently, that feature only works on the Photos app as well as Safari, but it should come to other third-party apps soon. Another cool feature is being able to edit and unsend messages on iMessage. So, for example, I sent Chai a wrong message. All I have to do is press and hold, tap on Edit, Louis Vuitton, hit the check mark, and just like that, my message is edited. This feature only works 15 minutes upon sending your original message, and if you tap on Edited, both parties will see all the edits made to a message. You also now have the option to unsend a message. Just tap and hold on the message, and then select Undo Send. On iPadOS 16, from the Mail app, you can also use that same Undo Send feature. But just remember, for Undo Send, you only have 2 minutes to do so. Now, if you feel like your screen is a little bit too cramped, you can go into Settings, Display and Brightness, and then under Display Zoom, you can go from Default to More Space. Now I can swipe in to bring up all my open applications. Let's say we can drag Safari to this window. You can resize windows as you wish, and now you have more space to, for the first time, have overlapping windows on iPadOS. iPadOS 16.1 isn't just exclusive to the new iPad Pros, it's available for all of these iPad models. And if you want to upgrade, all you have to do is fire up Software Update. Those were just some of my favorite features on iPadOS 16. For a full rundown, visit GadgetMatch.com. So, how can Apple improve the iPad Pro? I like how they moved the camera on the new iPad to this side, which is a more flattering angle for taking video calls. Although I do understand that the magnetic mechanism for attaching the Apple Pencil is right here. I also like the new Magic Keyboard Folio that's exclusive to the new iPad, not the iPad Pro. It's sleeker to take on the go and has a row of dedicated function keys. Maybe we can get a backlit version of this guy for the iPad Pro. I also asked some of you on Twitter, some of you want a 2K display with thinner bezels, some want macOS. The new 2022 iPad Pro, that's 4th generation for the 11-inch model and 6th generation for the 12.9-inch model, is available starting today. today, and it retails for $799 or $1099 respectively. So, is the 2022 iPad Pro your gadget match? Let's be honest, it's hard to recommend this device to the casual user. The new 2022 iPad and the iPad Air are more sensible purchases. I'd recommend the iPad Pro to creative professionals, especially to those whose workflows a tablet might be a good fit. I also recommend the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, this guy, to mobile warriors who would love to keep their two-screen workflows on the road. The iPad Pro is a great, albeit a pricey device for that too. Maybe the bigger question is the new 2022 iPad Pro overkill? And probably the answer is an honest yes, but I don't think that's the point also. Think of it instead as a device from the future made available today in order to pave the way for new workflows and new ways of doing things. That's what makes me most excited. And that was our 2022 iPad Pro unboxing and hands-on. What would you like to see us explore in a review video? What questions are you dying for us to answer? Let me know down below. And while you're at it, subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit that bell icon so that you get notified as soon as we post that video and more like it. Follow me on social media for all the behind-the-scenes fun stuff. And for news and updates, make GadgetMatch.com your daily habit. Until the next video, I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.